Plaintiff John Reddy says on his first date with the defendant, they took a shower together. But after John moved in with the defendant, he realized she was crazy. John claims the defendant constantly nagged him about drinking too much. And the last straw was when she pulled a gun on him. He's suing for unreturned property. Defendant Pamela Phibbs says when she first met John, she thought he was a polished and well-rounded man. But after a couple of dates, she discovered he was a married man. Pamela claims she then learned that John was meeting other women while on business trips, and she denies owing him for anything.
Start with you.
Judge, this woman is crazy. She pulled a gun on me. We had our first date on St. Patrick's Day. It was a great date. We ended up back at my apartment. We took a shower together. Nothing else happened, but we had a great night. And I thought it was going to be a great relationship.
All right, go ahead.
Things started to go bad when I moved in with her. She started nagging me about drinking too much, watching too much TV.
When did you move in with her?
It was at the end of June, Your Honor.
All right. What was that like?
We started arguing about money almost immediately. She told me she was a successful real estate agent. She wasn't. She was broke.
What about you?
I was working as a civil engineer at the time, Your Honor.
All right. I want to hear about this gun.
Yes, Your Honor. On September 20th, Your Honor, she threatened to smash my TV, brand new TV, with a hammer.
Why?
Unless I got out of the house.
Why did she want you out?
She was finished with me at the time.
And what did happen that day?
I left, and I went to sleep in my car in the church parking lot. And
Get to this gun.
She came and found me. And I came back to the house, and then she pointed the gun at me, Your Honor, and said, "It's time to go." And I said, "You can't shoot me." So she opened the front door and pulled the trigger several times. Thank God there was no bullets in the gun. I felt like it was an unsafe situation, so I left, and I told her I'll be back in a couple of weeks.
No stuff.
To get my belongings.
So do you come back and get your belongings?
And then she pointed the gun at me, Your Honor, and said, "It's time to go." And I said, "You can't shoot me." So she opened the front door and pulled the trigger several times. Thank God there was no bullets in the gun. I felt like it was an unsafe situation, so I left, and I told her I'll be back in a couple of weeks.
No stuff.
Defendant Pamela Phibbs is being sued by her ex-boyfriend, who claims he moved out of Pamela's house after she pulled a gun on him.
Ma'am, you tell me what happened.
Okay, Your Honor. I did meet John in January of 2013 on a dating line service, which I've never done. I'm a widow of 2 years. And we finally met in person, March, St. Patrick's Day at a pub. Had a couple of beers, went and had dinner. And I was like, oh my gosh, this man was Mr. Suave. He was just so polished, well-rounded. And I thought, wow, this guy's for real.
But it didn't smell too good.
Oh my God. What a liar, a jerk, and a cheater. And he did admit of how big of a jerk that he was.
Did you all take a shower that night? I want to get back to that.
Good possibility, but I don't see what that has to do with the personal property he's suing me for.
Okay.
But
well, he's giving a description of the relationship, which he says culminated in you pulling the gun on him like a nut. That's why it has something to do with it. So, did you pull a gun on him like a nut or not?
No, I'm honest.
All right.
I did have a shower, but no.
All right. And what about the threat?
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
And what else did you want me to know about the relationship?
March, after we met at the pub and went to dinner, and then I learned a couple of dates later, I'm married. Oh my God. I don't date married men, Your Honor. After that, I took him to the attorney's office. File your divorce. So I would know that it was properly handled. And I wasn't going to get pulled into something. So after that, June, his lease was coming up, and he persuaded me to let him move in with me. I was reluctant at first, but again, he was very good at what he manipulating and suaving. And oh, Pam, I love you. You mean everything to me. I've never loved anyone like you. So I became suspicious. I learned his phone password code, how to get into it. Can we say Pandora's box exploded and I watched the fireworks. Women texting, talking to him. Not one. He's leaving to go on a business trip. He didn't tell me about the trip across the border to Tijuana where he stayed with a woman in the Hilton for 3 days.
Saw that on the text?
Oh, yes. Where they met, everything. Yes, I saw that
When
on
you
the
mentioned
text.
these things to him, what did he say?
He begged me. He begged me relentless. Please, Pam, please. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. I love you so much. Just give me another chance. Okay.
Then what was the next incident?
Then in August, he got fired. So I gave him my backup phone. He doesn't know that I have detailed printouts
What
on my
did you
phone.
find?
Oh, let's see. New women, his ex-wife, texting. I have those records, by the way. And so, you know, we got into heated arguments.
What did he
and
say to that?
He didn't deny it.
Okay. Did you ask him to leave?
He left for a few days and he came back.
Okay.
And, you know, let's try to work this out. I really want us to be,
And you
permanent
accepted
couple.
that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not
So when did he finally move
October
out?
the 19th, I told him, John, this isn't working. You need to leave.
All right.
He took some of his belongings and he left.
All right, we're going to get to the belongings that you're suing for. What happened to cause you to sue her for $5,000 in property?
Your Honor, on September 20th, after she pulled the weapon on me, I felt like it was an unsafe situation and I moved in with my son. It was in October that I went back and she had changed the locks and put a black plastic bag over the front door glass so I couldn't even see in the house. I couldn't even see if my property was in the living room or not.
So what happened? Did you ever connect with her?
I did. We connected. I have my text streams trying to get together. We met at a Panera Bread, a restaurant, and she told me that she needed to keep the TV and the furniture for a little while longer because she didn't have a TV of her own.
What about the other items?
The other items we didn't talk about. We focused
Why
on
didn't you?
Well, we focused on the big things. I thought when I could go back to
Let's
get
see your list.
I thought when I could go back to get the big things, I could get all the rest of the small things as
You
well.
would talk to a person. You would say, when can I come and get the big things or the small things?
I was more focused on the TV and the computer and my dresser.
You told her she could use those?
I told her she could use those.
Okay.
She asked me if she could
And
use
you
them.
made no plans to get your other things. And this was when?
You're right, Your Honor, that's correct.
This was when?
This was in October.
And so what happened when you ultimately did try? Why are you suing her?
Your Honor, she sent me a text, or I can't remember if it was a text or a voice message, but she said, everything you're going to get is in your storage room. I went and checked, and nothing on this list was in this.
You missed a big part. When did you finally ask for your things?
According to my text message transcript here, it was the middle of December when all of this
Okay.
was.
And what did she say?
She said that she still needed to keep the big things.
Yeah, we know about that. We're talking about the other things. You just keep avoiding discussion about the little things. The little things we don't need to cover today.
To be honest with you, Your Honor, and I always am, there is no reason why we would have discussed the little things. I had no
Okay, so
concept.
we'll leave us. Okay, if you have not asked for the little things, you cannot sue her for the little things.
And I thought, wow, you know, this guy's for real.
But it didn't smell too good.
Oh my God. What a liar, a jerk, and a cheater.
Defendant Pamela Phibbs is being sued by her ex-boyfriend, who claims he moved out of Pamela's house after she pulled a gun on him.
So let's get to the big things you're talking about. And that is, you say a computer, and what else? TV?
TV,
And what else?
all the stereo equipment, and the bed.
All right, and when did you ask for it back?
She told me that she needed it until March.
Did you agree to let her have it until March?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay, and then what happened when you came for it in March?
We never connected up. She had kept avoiding me. She wouldn't let me in the house. She wouldn't meet with me. So I filed for collection of unreturned
All right,
property.
and that's why we're here today.
Yes.
All right, ma'am.
Contrary, John, to what you were saying, you were still at the house in October. If you, as big a football tailgater fanatic you are, and it's statistic in Tennessee, The Alabama game is the third Saturday every October. I call you, which I have records. How are you doing? I left you at home. Oh, I'm fine. Amy met you when she picked me up. Amy met you when she brought me home.
Ma'am? I was going to let you finish taking care of your business.
Okay. Well,
But I need to take care of my business.
I'm
And
sorry.
my business is, did you agree in October that you would keep these big items until March?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, Your
Was there a
Honor.
discussion of these large items at any time?
Your Honor, when I put him out October the 19th, I called him several times. John, I'm too busy. John.
There was no agreement that you could borrow these
no,
items?
No, sir. He abandoned that property.
All right.
He's should be grateful
So
I
you
didn't
have
throw it
some
away.
text there. You have something indicating that you agreed to loan them to her and that she agreed to return them?
I have right here, it says, Pam, the TV and stereo and computer are my property. I expect you to return my property forthwith.
All right, now let's see that. Ma'am,
That's this one right here.
did you receive this text?
I do not recall, Your Honor, at this
All
time.
right, so let's add these things up. Television, and that is $800. The computer, that is $500. And the stereo,
Dresser.
and that is, he doesn't say anything about the dresser yet, ma'am. I haven't seen that, but if you just want to throw that in, good enough. I'll throw that in. Dresser, $750. And the stereo, $500. What does that equal?
$25.50.
$25.50. All right, ma'am, I'm going to grant him his $25.50 for the items you say you don't even recall him discussing. I see where he did discuss them with you, and your memory's not working today, so I'll go with the written evidence. Have a good day. $25.50 for the plaintiff.
Pam, I need some of that stuff back. I need the
John,
I
you
need the
lied.
crystal
You lied.
glass
And when you
that
go
my mother
repent-
gave me.
Honey, when you repent, you need to do that instead of talking like, oh, I repent, then you know.
I'm
it's
sorry, are you
six-
my priest?
you need to know more than your priest. 16 weeks, you average 2 weeks, point 1 day, you go through a woman. Lou, Joyce, oh yeah, Cynthia, Adriana. Come on, I've got proof. You are such a liar.
This is so
And your
relevant to this
self-esteem-
case.
Oh, it is? I
That's
don't
what I was
think so,
wondering.
John. Because you're such a loser. Have you got a job yet? Are you making any money? Because you try
Are
to
you?
say, yes,
you know how
I
many
am.
houses you sold in the 6 months we were together? 2.
2? I beg
That's
your
a
pardon.
successful realtor.
Oh, 2? You drink so much that your brain is fried.
I'm done.